Have you ever wondered why some marriages are founded on honesty and trust while others are built on deception and secrecy? Why do people often say one thing but act in a completely different manner? Today we're going beyond the surface and shedding light on what's rarely discussed openly. Why should you stay until the end? Because we'll be diving deep into the raw truths of marriage and the surprising behaviors of some married women. Let's get started. In an ideal world, a married woman is steadfast, loyal, and committed. She has taken vows, signed legal documents, and promised to stand by her husband through life's ups and downs. But here's the reality. Life rarely plays out like a fairy tale. If a married woman suddenly begins showing interest in another man, it's rarely a coincidence. Before marriage, many women set high standards, playing by the rules, maintaining an air of exclusivity and presenting themselves as a valuable prize to be won. This is done with purpose, to attract a stable, committed man willing to prove himself. But once the ring is on her finger and the legalities are in place, the game changes. The conquest is over and she no longer needs to prove anything. Instead, she seeks something different, freedom, even if only for a moment. Imagine a man notices a wedding ring on a woman's hand. He knows she is married, and sometimes she even reminds him outright, "I'm married." That should be enough to deter him, right? But if he doesn't back away, a different dynamic begins. She isn't necessarily seeking love. She wants a break from routine, something exciting, something that makes her feel alive. And while her husband remains unaware, she indulges in an adventure. The man involved may believe he is in control, but in reality, both are getting what they want until the emotions start to change. According to a survey of 500 men, over 60% admitted to having had at least one affair with a married woman. Even more telling, 40% revealed that the woman was the one who initiated the affair. This exposes an important truth. Men are not always the pursuers in these situations. Sometimes, the woman sets the game in motion. But here's where the real problem arises. If the man starts developing genuine feelings, he finds himself on a path filled with uncertainty and emotional turmoil. Falling for a married woman is like boarding a train with no destination. The more attached he becomes, the greater his expectations grow. While she remains uninterested in adding any new responsibilities to her life, she never sought commitment, only a fleeting escape. If he begins demanding more, he becomes an inconvenience, and she will distance herself quickly. What's more, these women often feel secure in their double lives. They know their husbands provide financial stability, emotional security, and a home. This safety net gives them the confidence to take risks, as they feel they have little to lose. Unlike single women, they aren't searching for a lifelong partner. They are seeking something different entirely. History is filled with examples. Scandals involving celebrities, politicians, and public figures who lost everything due to affairs. What's even more surprising is that in many cases, the one blamed wasn't the one who initiated the situation in the first place. So, what should a man do if he finds himself in this position? 1. Accept reality. These affairs rarely lead to anything long-term or fulfilling. At best, you're a temporary escape in her life. 2. Don't try to change her. If she is seeking excitement, she isn't looking for stability. She won't suddenly transform into a devoted partner. 3. Don't deceive yourself. If you choose to play the game, understand that you will likely be discarded when it's no longer convenient for her. Affairs come with emotional and even physical risks. When a marriage becomes mundane, filled with responsibilities, routine, and obligations, the temptation to seek excitement elsewhere increases dramatically. Add in nights out with friends, alcohol, and the influence of social circles, and the probability of an affair skyrockets. Studies suggest that when a woman is dissatisfied at home, she becomes far more likely to look for fulfillment elsewhere. Here's the irony. Many women dream of marrying a stable, successful man for security. But the moment they achieve this, they sometimes grow bored. The man, wanting to keep his wife happy, may become overly accommodating, sacrificing his self-respect in the process. The more he bends over backward, the less she respects him. This is where attraction fades and she begins seeking contrast elsewhere. For many women, infidelity isn't necessarily an act of betrayal. It's a way to break free from predictability. They justify it by believing that as long as they return home to their family, it isn't truly wrong. But here's the problem. When a woman loses respect for her husband and sees him tolerate questionable behavior, it emboldens her. She pushes the boundaries further, convinced that she won't face consequences. A marriage built on disrespect is like a house that looks sturdy from the outside, but is rotting from within. One strong storm is all it takes to bring it down. Think of a husband as a man balancing on a tightrope over a vast canyon. He dedicates his time, energy, and finances to the family, believing he is securing their future. Meanwhile, his wife subtly shakes the rope beneath his feet. The harder she shakes, the more unstable he becomes. If he falls, he may never recover, and she may never fully understand the damage she has done until it's too late. Philosopher Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." This applies perfectly to relationships. If there is no mutual respect, no foundation of trust, and no shared commitment, then the relationship is already fractured. Hoping it will improve without action is pure self-deception. True loyalty is not automatic after marriage. It must be cultivated daily. Without effort from both partners, relationships become lifeless arrangements where people coexist rather than truly share a life together. Married women often attract men because they seem easier. No need for extravagant dates, deep emotional investment, or grand romantic gestures. These women aren't looking for attention, they're looking for results. Men who prefer casual relationships see this as a benefit, but the trade-off is steep. If a man starts seeing more in the affair than the woman does, he is left vulnerable. These flings are built on a lack of commitment, and once emotions enter the equation, the entire dynamic collapses. Men often make the mistake of idealizing the relationship, envisioning a possible future together. But the reality is, she doesn't want a new husband. She already has one. When push comes to shove, she will choose her marriage over an uncertain affair, leaving the man heartbroken and questioning how he got there in the first place. So, let's make this clear. If a relationship starts without respect, don't expect it to grow. Marriage doesn't change a person, it amplifies who they already are. If a woman didn't respect her partner before marriage, it won't magically appear later. To men, stop ignoring red flags. Value yourself, set boundaries, and don't settle for situations where you're just a temporary escape. To women, be honest about what you truly want. Are you searching for commitment, or are you chasing fleeting excitement? Every choice has consequences, and the way you approach relationships defines the foundation upon which your future is built. Life isn't a draft where mistakes can be erased. Every action carries weight. Think before you step into situations that may have irreversible effects. What do you think? Do you agree with this perspective? Share your thoughts below. And if you found this discussion valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for deeper conversations ahead. Take care and see you next time.